Stop feeling guilty about putting things off. Seriously, this video isn't about how to overcome procrastination. It's about how to master it. We're about to explore the revolutionary concept of strategic procrastination, revealing how deliberate delays can actually sharpen your focus, deepen your insights, and lead to far superior results than rushing ever could. Prepare to embrace your inner dawdler. Let's get one thing straight right away. There's a huge difference between strategic procrastination and what most of us think of as just procrastination. That feeling when you know you should be doing something important, but you end up reorganizing your bookshelf, color-coding your spice rack, or diving into a 7-hour documentary series about competitive cheese rolling. That's aimless delay. It's driven by avoidance, fear, or a lack of clarity. Strategic procrastination, on the other hand, is a conscious, deliberate choice. It's about recognizing that some tasks, especially creative or complex ones, actually benefit from not being tackled immediately. That's the difference between running away from a task and intentionally letting it simmer on the back burner. Think of it like making a good stew. You can't just throw all the ingredients in a pot, crank the heat up to high for 10 minutes, and expect a masterpiece. It needs time. The flavors need to meld, to deepen, to become something more than the sum of their parts. Your brain works the same way with complex ideas. This is what scientists call the incubation period. When you first encounter a problem or a creative challenge, you load the information into your brain. Then, by stepping away, you give your subconscious mind the space it needs to work its magic. You're not being lazy, you're incubating. Have you ever been wrestling with a problem for hours, getting absolutely nowhere, only to have the perfect solution pop into your head while you're in the shower, or out for a walk, or just as you're drifting off to sleep? That's not a coincidence. That's your brain delivering the results of its subconscious work. It's that classic, moment. Rushing to a solution immediately often gives you the most obvious, surface-level answer. But allowing for that strategic delay? That's where true innovation comes from. It's the moment when your brain connects two seemingly unrelated ideas and creates something entirely new. We've all felt that jolt of clarity that comes just before a deadline. It feels like magic, but it's actually a cognitive process you can learn to harness. So what's actually happening in your head during this incubation phase? It's fascinating. When you're actively focused on a task, you're using what's called the focused mode of thinking. It's linear, analytical, and great for executing plans. But when you step away and do something else, something that does not require intense concentration, your brain switches to the diffuse mode. This is a more relaxed, neural resting state where your brain can make connections more freely. It's not focused on one specific path. It's wandering through the entire network of your knowledge. This is why solutions to complex problems often appear when you're not actively thinking about them. Your brain is still chewing on the problem in the background, making novel connections that your focused mind would have dismissed as irrelevant. This process is a supercharger for creativity. By not forcing an immediate answer, you allow for more unexpected and original ideas to surface. When you rush, you default to your most ingrained patterns of thought. But when you procrastinate strategically, you give your brain a chance to break out of those ruts. You might read an article, have a conversation, or see something in the world that suddenly provides the missing piece of the puzzle, a piece you never would have found if you just stayed chained to your desk. This creates a different kind of pressure, too. There's the bad kind of stress, the paralyzing dread that comes from true, aimless procrastination. It's that feeling of being overwhelmed and frozen. But then there's productive pressure. It's the focused intensity you feel when a deadline is approaching, and you've already done the subconscious groundwork. Your ideas are primed and ready to go. The deadline doesn't create panic. It creates a focused sprint to the finish line, fueled by all the insights you've been incubating. Now, this sounds great, but how do you actually apply it without just falling into old, unproductive habits? The key is to be intentional. First, you need to identify the right tasks for a strategic delay. This technique isn't for everything. Filing your expense reports or answering routine emails. Just get those done. Strategic procrastination is best reserved for tasks that require deep thought, creativity, or complex problem solving. Think writing a major report, developing a new business strategy, designing a product, or outlining a creative project. These are the tasks that benefit most from a little marination time. Once you've identified a suitable task, you need to consciously schedule your incubation periods. This is crucial. It's not about just walking away and hoping for the best. It's about being structured in your unstructured time. After you've done the initial research and defined the problem, plan a break. Go for a run, work on a completely different kind of task, tidy up your workspace, or even play a game. The key is to do something that occupies your mind just enough to prevent you from actively worrying about the task, but not so much that it exhausts you. Think of it as scheduling creative downtime. You could work on a project for an hour in the morning, then deliberately set it aside until the next day, trusting that your brain will keep working on it in the background. The biggest danger here, of course, is the trap of true procrastination. How do you make sure strategic doesn't just become an excuse for stalling? The most important rule is commitment and pre-planning. Before you step away, you must have a clear intention to return. A great way to do this is to set a re-entry point. This could be as simple as leaving your document open, writing down the very next small step you need to take, or setting a firm calendar appointment to resume work. For example, tomorrow at 10 a.m., I will start by outlining the 3 main arguments for my proposal. This gives your brain a clear signal that the break is temporary and purposeful. Without this commitment, you risk the task fading into the background and becoming a source of anxiety rather than a wellspring of creativity. You have to trust the process, but you also have to build the structure to support it. So let's recap this whole idea. Procrastination isn't an inherent character flaw. It's a behavior. And like any behavior, it can be shaped and used to your advantage. When you use it strategically, when you deliberately choose to delay complex, creative tasks, you're not being lazy. You're giving your brain the time and space it needs to do its best work. You're tapping into the power of subconscious processing, fostering greater creativity, and turning debilitating stress into focused, productive pressure. It is a powerful tool, not a weakness to be ashamed of. So here is my challenge to you. Find one complex, creative task on your to-do list this week. Instead of diving in headfirst and forcing a solution, try a little strategic delay. Do the initial groundwork, gather your information, and then intentionally step away. Schedule an incubation period. Trust your brain to do its thing. See what happens when you come back to it. You might be shocked by the clarity and creativity that's waiting for you. Imagine the breakthroughs, the innovative solutions, and the brilliant ideas that are just waiting to be uncovered once you learn to harness this overlooked power. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this idea intriguing, give this video a thumbs up, and love to hear your own experiences with procrastination, good or bad, in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how to work smarter, not just harder. See you in the next one.